set up the protocols where they have to do, bi-daily check-ins or daily check-ins, and I can go up. Actually, it's like, interestingly, with the people I've been working with, Kevin Sutcliffe, who we hired very recently, who's working across news, and he was deputy editor of current affairs at Channel 4 for 10 years. And he kind of stepped in and has helped us in lots of ways, but also was just sort of said, well, actually, you're using all the same compliance that I would have been using at Channel 4. And so I think that the point being that the reason why it's interesting I get asked that question a lot is because actually it's because of what we show. And I think there's a lot of people out there that when a journalist is freaking out because something's scary, would probably cut that. And that's really important to us that that's in the film, that if that point is really fucking scary, then let's show it. But the background of that is that we're kind of doing what everyone else is doing, and we're careful. And I don't want to be standing somewhere after someone's died, and we're very careful about that.
What about back here?
Yeah. What's your personal favorite documentary and why?
God, it's probably the last one we got out the door. What's our favorite documentary? Wait, are we talking about Vice documentaries or just in general? I love The King of Kong, A Fistful of Dollars. Fistful of Quarters? Yeah. Heard of that?
I have not.
You should check it out. Be an amazing narrative. Two of the best documentary characters that have ever existed.
Can I just ask about Tim Pool and that whole side of new technology, how Vice is trying to be at the front of that? Is it going to be him and a couple of others, or is it going to be all of you?
Everyone's trying it out. I mean, so you're talking about live streaming.
Yeah.
And it's definitely part of it's going to be a big part of what we're doing. And again, actually, it's weird. I sort of now feel like, why was it not in those slides about what we do as coverage? Because actually, we were live streaming from Ukraine as well. It's quite hard to sometimes get a good 3G connection. But yeah, I think that's definitely part of the way that we want to try and communicate. And Tim's obviously pushing very hard with that. That's something that he's obsessed by, and he wants to see as much of happen as possible. And again, Alex, who you saw from Venezuela, was also live streaming from there as well. And again, mostly it's just part of the kind of repertoire of tools that I think are open to the modern journalist. Probably the hardest question is when you choose which one. So, are you live streaming or are you filming for that documentary, or are you, taking that photo? That would boggle me in many ways. What you choose at the right moment.
There's one last question.
Okay.
I think what characterizes most traditional news outlets is that they have a particular political line, and that's what really determines their agenda. Point question, like lack of Venezuelan news coverage for certain traditional news outlets. So would you say that what makes Vice different is that you probably don't have a political line? And if that's not true, what political line do you think you guys have?
If we're talking about sort of like traditional party politics, I would say we're probably quite apolitical. I think mostly our line is that the world is fucked and there's a lot of people that are really, really unhappy about it, and let's try and get to the bottom of that. And I think, yes, there's a huge distrust of most politicians and most political systems right now, because I think we generally all feel that they're not serving their populations very well. And I'm not entirely sure if you bring in the opposite party and they would do much more different right now. So yeah, I enjoy it.
Okay, I think that's it. Thank you.